Whew. Thanks to this movie, I can't make eggs anymore without crying. Greetings, my fancy viewers. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about We Live in Time, the newest romantic comedy starring Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh, and is directed by John Crowley. The film is about Tobias, played by Andrew Garfield, and Almut, played by Florence Pugh. They are starstruck lovers after meeting through some very unique circumstances, but as time goes on, Almut is actually diagnosed with stage 3 cancer and doesn't have much time left to live. So these two lovers are just on a journey together, living the best life that they can before time runs out. So I think there is a lot to love in this movie. This film is just absolutely gut-wrenching because of how hard the topic is of cancer and these characters just going through the motions of this terrible thing that they have to go through. The film is also just a beautiful story of just these two people just falling in love with each other and going on this incredible journey with each other. This is an absolute beautiful, beautiful film. Now, when it comes to romantic comedies and romantic dramas in general, I'm personally not a huge fan of them. They're not really my cup of tea, but this one I thoroughly enjoyed. The biggest highlight for me would be the performances between Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. They give some of the best performances that I have seen this year. I mean, their performances are just absolutely astounding. Like, they just bring so much life to these characters where it seems like these two characters are just a real normal couple. Like if a camera crew just filmed a regular couple down the street, like they just seem like a natural, normal couple. Like they are just absolutely just beautifully written characters, beautifully acted. Like everything about these two is just so real. And the fact that they're going through this really hard, real situation of cancer, like you can't just help but feel like you're watching just a normal, real couple go through these just terrible times, but also just staying in love and going through this beautiful relationship that they have. But even though this film does deal with a heavy subject of cancer, it's actually pretty funny in some cases as well. I mean, there are some pretty laugh out loud moments. That's what I love about movies like this, is how they have like this yin and yang of like perfectly balancing, the drama, but also adding in some lighthearted moments so that way you're not, fully depressed watching the entire movie. And the way how these two characters are is just so natural and just beautiful. Like, I love how Andrew Garfield is playing this character. He's not just some like suave tough guy. He's actually kind of a dork. I mean, I would actually say that he's more of a Peter Parker in this film than he was a Peter Parker in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I know it's a weird comparison to make, but that's how I perfectly describe this character. Is just, he's like, Peter Parker. He's just a goofball. He's a bit of a nerd. He's like just kind of shy. He's just a regular dude. Like, his character just, I feel like I could actually kind of relate to his character that I was watching. I was like, man, this guy's kind of like me. Except Andrew Garfield is way hotter than me. And Florence Pugh's character, she's just this regular, normal chef. She just wants to be the best chef that she can, but she's also balancing in this horrible situation that she's going through. And at the end of the movie, she's just like, I'm battling through this cancer, but I want to at least, have a legacy to live off of. I want to, have something to be remembered by. And that brings in the more of a theme of just, everyone wants to, just leave a legacy for themselves before they move on and before they pass. And that's just something that I feel like everyone can relate to. And the fact that this movie just perfectly just executes a tough moral of just, going through horrible situations, but still wanting to do something for yourself and still wanting to, just tough it out and just, live a legacy and live the life that you want to live no matter what obstacle comes up in front of you. Just watching this character just battle through this is just so, it's just so gut-wrenching, but you just keep on rooting for her. And man, this film just, oh my god, it made me tear up. Like, the ending of the film, I mean, obviously, you can probably guess where the ending goes, but the ending here is just so beautiful. I mean, like, the ending, this is one of the best endings to a film I've seen this year. It's just very professionally done. It's very mature with the way they handle a situation like someone battling cancer. Like, oh my gosh, like when the credits were rolling, I was literally just staring at the screen just like, just tears coming down. I usually don't cry during movies, but man, this one, oh my god, this one got me. Oh my god, that ending is just so beautiful. That's the best way I can describe this film. It's just a beautiful film of these two characters just in this loving relationship. Like, I haven't seen a romantic comedy or romantic drama like this just so well done in a long time. Man, it's just so damn good. Now, if I did have a couple complaints about the film, one of them is that the music doesn't really fit in too well with the movie. Now, the music is fine on itself, but it's a bit too overly whimsical, I would say. There are parts of the film where it's just, over the top with this violin orchestral music that's just so, like, happy and beautiful, but it's like the film is trying a bit too hard to be overly whimsical and beautiful in some cases because of this music. It's like, no, the film is good on its own, selling these characters and how beautiful this story is. Like, you don't need this overly abundance of whimsical music. Like, it's kind of distracting me in the film, and it's like you're trying to overcompensate the film with this whimsical music instead of letting the characters and actors do the work for the movie. And that as a whole is just, the film is trying a bit too hard for you to care for these characters and like these characters. It's like the actors are doing a great job selling the characters on their own. But now you have all this overly abundance of, whimsical moments and whimsical happiness music and everything. It's like, no, you're trying too hard. Lay that down a little bit, like, pull it back. The actors are doing a good job on their own. Like, you don't need all this other stuff in the film. And another thing I didn't like about the film is that there's a moment in the story where Florence Pugh's character does something that causes some conflict between her character and Andrew Garfield's. And that conflict could have easily been avoided if she just communicated with Andrew Garfield's character. Like I hate that trope where it's just, some miscommunication, or, if you just talk to somebody, that could have easily avoided all these issues that are happening. And while the scene is very well done, what happens between these two characters, there's just a part of me that was just like, man, you could have easily avoided this situation if you just talked to each other, if you just didn't have this little secret that you were keeping from Andrew Garfield's character. Like, come on now. Also, for the rewatch value for this film, I don't really want to see this film again anytime soon. Like I said, I was bawling by the end of the movie, and like I said in the beginning of my review, I cannot make eggs anymore without crying, probably because of seeing this film. This film has hurt my soul. Like, ow. So, I don't know, like, I just really wish that I could see this film again sometime soon, because it's just such a good movie, but also, like, I don't want to be bawling my eyes out again anytime soon like that. So, rewatch value? Not so high. Just be warned, you will cry at the end of this movie. If you don't cry, you have no soul. So as a whole, this is a beautifully done movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't think it adds anything new to the romantic comedy, romantic drama genre. I feel like it's just another really good romance movie that I feel like a lot of couples are going to enjoy. It's definitely going to be a Valentine's Day film for sure for a lot of couples. Just know that it is sad. It is a sad movie, but in the end, it's still a beautiful film that I recommend you going out and see. Just know, it might not be one that you want to see again anytime soon. Which is why I would like to bestow upon We Live in Time the gold top hat. To all my fancy viewers out there, thank you so much for watching. But if it's your first time hearing like we've seen, be sure to subscribe for more content. And have you seen We Live in Time? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you have a fantastic night. And as always, stay fancy.